East Podcast, WATP.
Klay Dabbler was already back on the show. So we did a bonus show. The three of us were all there. We did a bonus show on Monday, and I showed the falling out between John and Klay Dabbler, where basically what happened is John didn't understand the facts of what happened. He was accusing Klay of doing something that Klay didn't do. And Klay was pissed about it. He's like, John, stop lying about me. I didn't do that. And John's going, yeah, but maybe you did. He's going, I didn't. Yeah, but couldn't you maybe have done that by mistake? He's like, no, I definitely did not do that. And so as Klay was explaining that this guy, the legend who gives John money that John loves, as he's explaining that guy's a little bitch, John kicks him off the show and then proceeded for the rest of his show and the whole next show to argue with Klay Dabbler when Klay wasn't there.
Yeah.
Which is a bitch move. He's a pussy boy, this John Melendez. And it's crazy that Klay comes back on the show and John goes, all right, look it, man. Let's just be friends again. And Clay's going, okay, but, you know, obviously, can you just admit that I didn't do the thing that you said I was doing? And John's like, you might have. And it's just like, fuck. John just can't stop himself.
And we're back.
Yes, he will never admit he did anything wrong. And John even had this thing. I don't have the clip, but I was watching it on Uncle Rico. John even had this thing where Klay pretty much proved to John that he didn't block him and he couldn't have blocked him because the guy wasn't blocked, which is the crazy thing. The guy was never even blocked. So Clay's like, you kept saying I blocked the guy. No one blocked him, obviously. He was never blocked. And so Clay's just like, can you just admit that I didn't do that? And John goes, well, I guess you're perfect, Klay. You know, some of us have flaws and some of us make mistakes, but I guess you're just perfect. Wow. It's like such a deflection. You just imagine being married or in a relationship with a guy like that. It's just like, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm saying you've been lying about me and that you were wrong about this thing. Can you please just apologize or put it out there that you were wrong about this one fucking thing? But Klay came crawling back, which is crazy to me. I don't know what's in it for him to be his friend. Okay. What I want to get to, though, today is an update on what's been going on in the last 2 days in Stuttering John's world. Because John, of course, is always talking about the Shuli Network and what happened with esod, the former producer, being caught with 6,000 videos and images of just the most horrendous child exploitation, child pornography you can have. Just seems really awful. And so John keeps claiming this.
I mean, let's face it. Muttering J, his slogan should be observe and report, because Lady K has not said word one on the pedo network. Lady K, you're a liar. You're a traitor. You stand for nothing. You know, you probably, from the rumors I'm hearing, and this is just rumors, allegedly you had dinner with Isolino at your house. But you're all mum. You ain't saying word one, you fucking douchebag.
This is why John's so dumb. He doesn't watch the show. He doesn't know what we've talked about. We've addressed this so many fucking times. The reason why there's a rumor about that is because I came out and said when I found the news, I was like, holy shit, Issa was over at my house recording a podcast. And then we all went out to dinner afterwards. Mm-hmm. I talked about that. That was the first thing I talked about.
Sure.
He didn't have dinner at my house. We went out to dinner. So it's not a rumor. It's what happened. I had no idea that he was into that sort of thing. He was Shuli's producer. He lives in this area. Yeah. Shuli was in town for a comedy show. We did a podcast together. Then we all went out and got dinner.
It wasn't like pulling out his phone going, check this out.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not into that, but that's cool if you are. Like, none of these things. There's a rumor going around. You had dinner with the guy. It's not a rumor. I had dinner with the fucking guy before their comedy show.
That's why it's so shocking.
And then we went to the comedy show.
Yes.
Fuck.
We had a good time.
Yes. What do you, John, I address it all the fucking time on the show.
I never met him.
I think it's horrific. I hope I think it's horrific. I hope Isso's locked away for forever. I hope he never sees the light of day again, because that is the worst thing. The worst thing you can do is be into that sort of thing. It's awful.
Pathetic that he's trying to milk this for nothing.
It's still going on.
Yeah, it's got nothing.
It's still going on. So now John is going to take a victory lap, because you remember he got a text from Anthony Cumia.
Oh, right.
And Anthony said, John, you were right. I'll never go on Uncle Rico again. Shuli, that whole network, they're bad dudes. He goes, that's even coming from me. I want nothing to do with that shit. And so John's like, finally, Cumia's coming around.
Muttering Jay did the proper reporting. And Missy B has confirmed, Vince the lawyer, you dumb fuck, that was Anthony Cumia's text to me. And we are all good. More bad news for the Sandusky Network. Who would have thunk it that the Duke and Pocky are now fine?
All right, so that was Tuesday. John goes, fuck you. I'm friends with Cumia now. We're good. Everything's good. This is a guy that he's been talking mad shit about forever. We're going back to the old episodes we're doing on the Patreon, Living in the Past with Stuttering John. And even those episodes from 2018 were all about Anthony Cumia, what a piece of shit he is. And it's been nonstop ever since. He's like every word you could use to describe a guy that's bad. He's been using that. And now, because he got this text message, he's like, we're good. I got no problem with the guy. You know, as long as
Even though he just called him Pocky.
He did call him Pocky, which is an insult. He doesn't love that. I don't think he cares, but it's definitely an insult. So then later on that same day, Tuesday night, this is what happened on the Uncle Rico show.
About that.
Well, look who's here. Oh, my goodness. Whoa. Would you look at that?
I'm in the Duke's camp now. Look out. Oh, what a fucking idiot he is. How fucking stupid does this jerk off have to be to actually think, after everything he's done and said, the backstabbing, low-life loser that he is, that I would have any fucking thing to do with this dope. He was worked again.
I love it. So John once again falls for it. Hook, line, and sinker. So I was curious. You know, he did a show today just before we started doing these podcasts. Like, how's he going to respond to this? Have you guys seen this yet?
No.
Do you have any predictions?
I saw this late today before we did this show, and I didn't even want to bring it up because I figured either you clipped it or you didn't, but you don't have time now.
Right.
So I'm so glad that you got all this.
Oh, yeah. I was watching this, and it's great because the victory lap goes on for, 2.5 hours, but really the first, 25, 30 minutes of it, where everyone's just like, oh, thank God Anthony's still doing this show, and he's still on board, and everyone's still in on this stuff. So that was really cool to see that. I actually did know that's what was happening because Shirley did let me in on that, but I wanted to see how it played out, and that was fun. And so this is John's response. I remember Tuesday, he goes, we're all good, and fuck you, Vince the lawyer. You're trying to say that this is a work and Cumia's against me, but it's not. I got this all figured out. So let's see what he's saying today.
He doesn't look happy.
Speaking of children, ladies and gentlemen, can we address the ridiculousness? This show is called Petals of a Feather Flock Together.
Oh, that really flows well, John. Who came up with that one? Oh, I bet it was you.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I bet John came up with
He
that
does
one.
look proud.
Fucking idiot.
Now, again, another work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the funny part about this one is
That you fell for it again.
Yeah.
That you fall for
It's
it
always the funny part.
Yeah, the funny part is that you fall for it every fucking time, John. That's the funny part.
much like all the others, like Quad Fathers and Cardiff and the Cape Meany dud tapes and everything, these works never amount to anything.
The Cape Meany dud tapes. I'm not going to let that go by.
No, don't.
John threatened to sue me. Mm-hmm. He threatened to sue Blind Mike. He threatened to sue Shuley. He threatened to sue Bob. He threatened to sue the Comedy Club. He threatened to sue Vinnie Paulino. The week of DabbleCon 2, he got some drunk at the bar with him to call the Comedy Club to pretend he was an attorney representing John to scare one more time. Maybe they won't play these tapes. And now John's actually like, there was nothing there at all. Okay, you're pretty nervous about it.
Kate Meany's mom.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Suing Kate Meany. That's still on the table, according to him more recently. Kate Meany's mom. Yeah, anyone who has money who's associated with that.
Calling her, telling her that her daughter's a cokehead and
a whore.
And a whore. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
good stuff.
It was nothing.
It really is amazing. I get the sense, and guys, tell me what you think about this. I think that when John says this stuff, he really believes what he's saying. I think that he forgets how worked up he got, how he tried to ruin people's lives, what went into all of this. And then when it's like a month or two later, just like, yeah, that was nothing.
He has to, or he would realize what a loser he is.
Correct.
It's a Billy Madison. He's in loser denial.
His personality disorder will not allow him to recognize. I don't know. What do you think, Chris? Do you think he's just lying?
Well, I don't know where he's going with this list that he's building here.
Okay.
But yeah, it exactly sounds like denial. Otherwise, you wouldn't flex about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying, I've been duped by this person.
Yeah, why are you bringing it? That's a good point, too. He's like, he's trying, the way he's starting this whole thing is just like, guys, I've been worked over many times. Let me list them all now.
He has to be the hero of his own story.
Well, yes, of course.
Instead of admitting that he's a fucking court jester.
I mean,
his name, say that he's the Duke.
His name is Hero of the Stupid, so it makes sense that he'd be the hero of his own story.
You're not going to take down the Duke. It's impossible.
No one's trying to take you down, John. That's not the goal here. We want you to do shows for infinity.
Yeah.
Duke only gets powerful, more powerful with each time you try.
So he's picturing himself like Hulk Hogan when they're still punching him in the head. He's just like, oh, you don't want to do that. Like, punch you some more. Oh, just getting up slowly.
Getting stronger.
Yeah, so stupid.
So again, the Duke looks good as usual.
What?
How?
Yeah, you don't usually look good, first off. But let's see how he spins this one.
The Duke looks good as usual, while the
Oh, sorry, I was trying to pause in a place would prove he doesn't look good as usual.
losers at the Sandusky Network, they just continue to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Now you'll say, well, how are they losing, John? Well,
great question. Even he's just like, this sounds stupid.
let me explain to you exactly how they're losing.
Okay, here we go. Let me buy myself some time because I forgot what I was going to say. So then he's like, nervous laughter into chugging water. That keeps getting funnier. He needs more water? What, did he just spit out the water he drank?
Oh, I think someone's at the door also.
Don't answer that, Mom.
I haven't thought of anything yet.
Yeah, he's buying a lot of time for
Elephant
himself.
water.
Let me explain to you why it's actually those losers who are the losers and not me. And away we go in just a moment.
Here is how they're losing.
Look at that shirt he's wearing. He's wearing the Stuttering John Show shirt that is very poor quality. The logo's been washed away. Throw it out. Remember, this is the guy who said he has too many shirts?
Right.
Stop wearing that one. It's embarrassing.
So now we all knew that the Anthony Cumia thing was probably fake. The one thing I did know, it was really.
We all knew that the Anthony Cumia thing was probably fake.
The text he got from him?
Yeah, well, the fact that look at this guy. No, the fact that he was like done with Shuley and the Shuley network.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
I'm pretty
that's
sure that I definitely knew.
right. Yeah, he goes, we all knew that it was probably fake. Like 80-20, 70-30.
Right. Some of us knew it was definitely fake.
51-49. What the fuck? It's just a dumb thing to say. It's like 60% of the time it works every time.
Right.
His number, and that's something that Vince and I argued about. But the one thing we could be assured is that, yep, Pocky's still the creep that we thought he was.
Okay.
So he doesn't really look down upon the pedophilia over at the Sandusky Network because, let's face it, Pocky's a pedophile himself.
Jesus Christ. I don't know if you can say that. I don't know if that's legal to say on your show. I mean, you probably need to have like serious evidence and proof of something like that.
I forgot what his argument was.
That's some allegation right there. Also, he goes, all the pedos over at the Shuley Network. Well, there was one, and he's in prison. Like, what do you mean? You think it's still going on? This is getting so stupid. And they've convinced him and John has convinced himself that there is guilt to go around for everyone. and that all of them have CP on their computers, and they're all trading it freely on the dark web. It's insane.
That's how it works. We all hang together.
Yeah. None of it makes any
they're
fucking
fogs.
sense. But now, what John just said, let me just back it up in case anyone's attorney is watching.
Dusky Network, because let's face it, Pocky's a pedophile himself.
Oof. I thought you were getting some counseling. I'm surprised that you would think that's okay to say.
That's what two drinks of water got
so
him.
many shows about it, about the young girls he's chatting with on Instagram, trying to get gifts to, or whatever the allegations were. I don't know if they're factual, of course.
What the fuck? You just declared he was the most horrific thing a person can be. And then you go, I don't know what the facts are. I don't know if any of these are real. I have no idea what's going on. Cardiff is here, everybody. What's up, Cardiff?
Yay.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Have you seen this yet?
This is today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was listening. I fell asleep, but this part was fun.
You took a nap?
I did.
Oh, that's embarrassing. I can't have this guy. I can't have nap takers on my show. I can't associate myself.
He's a vampire. The sun.
I don't know. Ever since you added me to the Jenny Jingles text thread, I keep getting nap notifications.
She does that.
But either way, I know he did take a girl to prom as a grown man, as an adult.
Okay. Everyone knows that. He talked about it on the Opie and Anthony show.
Mm-hmm. It was in his book.
Yeah, it's in the book. It's like, okay. That's a big leap from the accusation he just made, but all right, whatever.
But it
How about
doesn't
when he took her
matter.
to the pediatrics hospital? How about that?
Right.
You forgot about that one, John.
Shitway is trying to say, well, Anthony was my best friend. He was never my best friend. I still said he was a fucking racist and anti-Semite.
You said you guys were good. We just played it.
Yep.
You said everything was cool and you guys were good. So are you good with someone who's a racist and an anti-Semite? Why is that? What he should have said is just like, I don't want anything to do with this guy. He's a racist and anti-Semite. I'm just glad he sees that Shuli's also a bad guy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be like, no, this is my buddy now.
And when I was trying my best to become third mic on his podcast, it was a mistake.
I didn't know about that back then.
Totally different.
I still maintain he's a racist and anti-Semite. Nothing has changed with my opinion. And nothing has changed regardless. If I ever saw Anthony, it would be fun for me.
Oh, fucking tough guy, John. I know. It would be fun for me. He's such a child. I know.
But, of course, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
This is how he thinks. This is how he thinks. He's like, would I associate myself with a racist Nazi? Well, yeah, if he hated Shuli. I mean, that's the one thing the Nazis got right? Am I right, people?
I'm not going to have the Artie chair.
But Carl, look at his face when he's saying this. He's delivering the monologue of his career in his mind.
Well, he's also standing in front of the jury right now and explaining, ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
Yes.
you have to understand why I said I would even like this guy. But this is, by the way, I want to point out, this is the same guy who says that I stand for nothing. And he loves pointing out people who stand for nothing. You just admitted just now you stand for nothing. Yeah. The enemy of your enemy is your friend, regardless of how horrible they are as a person.
All my friends are children, I guess.
It's like, this is the definition of standing for nothing.
Fun for me. But, of course, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So if Anthony Cumia is going to give me some dirt on the Sandusky Network, I'm a fighter. I'll take any intel that I can to beat the shit out of my opponents. Now, they're not...
And I have to tell you, John, this is your downfall. Because I can tell you that guys like Cardiff Electric have sent you information that was not true, and you wanted it to be true, so you fell for it. And you're always inviting this sort of thing, where it's like, if you got some dirt on people I don't like, I can't wait to use it. He had on his show the other day, some guy was saying that he had sex with an underage prostitute in Atlantic City.
Oh, you're going to spoil today's game.
Oh, okay. I won't say anymore. Is that on today's game?
That clip, one of those clips are
okay.
something.
But basically, the summary is that John got his PI to find out what this guy looks like, and he had behind him as his video background a zoomed in picture of this guy's face. And it's just like, what does that do? What do you like? Why even address? If someone said Carl had sex with an underage prostitute in Atlantic City, I would never bring it up. I would never even address it. It's like, obviously I didn't. What do you mean?
But it's just the same old bag of tricks.
Yep. Right. He threw out he goes, oh, you want more, in Tennessee or whatever the fucking state he said he was in. He's just like, wow, he knows a lot about you. Watch out.
I just can't wait to get the intel of when you're on vacation so that I can show up your house and threaten you with violence when you're not there. Okay.
It's literally the only thing the only thing he'll actually do is show up when you're not home.
Right.
Yes.
Not really opponents. They're fucking pikers. As far as I'm concerned, that's a stockbroker term for all in the know. But the point being, they are involved in this ridiculous, elaborate work. But who are they hurting? Did they hurt?
They're not hurting anyone.
Isn't it obvious?
They're just clowning you.
Yeah. We just wanted to laugh for a couple hours last night at you.
Right. We're all pointing and laughing at you, and it was actually a lot of fun. I think it was cathartic for a lot of people who missed Anthony being on the show. It was a lot of fun to see him come back the way that he did.
Hurt the Duke in any way?
We're not trying to. No one's trying to hurt. Anyway, that's enough. He's so stupid. He doesn't understand what's going on.
He is dumb, Carl.
He has no clue. I just realized that. He has no clue what's actually happening, just that he falls for it every time.
Yeah, when has this worked out for him?
Well, he always believes what he wants to hear. And so that's why he keeps falling for this shit.
Who are these podcasts? WA